All right, let's get right into this explainer. Today, we are tackling the grand finale, part 10 of a 10-part tutorial titled Machine Learning for IT Professionals, a 10-part intermediate tutorial, originally put together by Virtualization Options LLC, a really fantastic Colorado-based research and education organization. After chewing through all the foundational theory in parts 1 through 9, Chapter 10 is our capstone. It's time to take everything we've learned and look at how to actually build, deploy, and run these models in real, day-to-day infrastructure workflows.
Here is our roadmap for this final chapter. We'll quickly touch on why ML matters for IT right now, walk through the 3 main learning paradigms, dive into the golden rule of pre-processing, talk about engineering features, and wrap up with the core algorithms you'll actually use in production.
Kicking things off with Section 1, why ML matters for IT, and why this shift is already here.
Listen, the integration of machine learning into IT ops, it's no longer just some futuristic concept you read about on a blog. It is happening right now. It's actively reshaping how infrastructure teams work. It's live in production environments today, powering things like anomaly detection, predictive maintenance, and intelligent automation. Understanding this stuff doesn't just make you sound smart in meetings. It gives you a massive, tangible edge in the field.
And here is the absolute best part. You have a unique advantage. I know this series might have felt a bit deep at times, but you already know complex systems inside and out. You're already managing data pipelines and building infrastructure architecture. Machine learning, it's literally just the next logical layer sitting right on top of the skills you've spent your entire career developing. Because you have that foundation, your learning curve to get these models into production is actually way smaller than you probably think.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 3 learning paradigms, which are really the fundamentals of any ML system. So, how do these paradigms actually map to real-world IT scenarios? Well, think of it like this. First, supervised learning. That's when your model learns from labeled data, like feeding it a bunch of historical network traffic so it learns to definitively classify what's malicious and what's benign. Then you have unsupervised learning. This is for when your data is a bit of the Wild West, no neat labels. The model finds the hidden patterns itself, like clustering servers based on their behavior to spot weird anomalies. And finally, reinforcement learning. This is where an agent learns through a system of rewards and penalties. It's absolutely perfect for something highly dynamic, like auto-scaling your infrastructure based on performance metrics. The one you choose, that's dictated entirely by the kind of data you have.
Now for Section 3, pre-processing. This is the absolute golden rule for structuring raw IT data. 70 to 80%. Let that sink in for a second. That is the chunk of time in almost any machine learning project that is dedicated entirely to cleaning and structuring data. Because let's face it, raw IT data is incredibly noisy and inconsistent. The heavy lifting is always in the prep work.
Which brings us to the ultimate law of the land in infrastructure. Garbage in, garbage out. If you're feeding your models a total mess of unstructured logs, your output quality is going to plummet. Getting your data perfectly clean is exactly what separates a successful model from one that fails silently the second you move it out of testing and into live production. So, how do we avoid those silent failures? It boils down to 3 really practical steps. First up, handling your missing values. You've got to make a choice. Do you impute them, drop them entirely, or just flag the nulls depending on the context? Second, normalize your numeric ranges. You have to standardize your metrics so one massive number doesn't completely skew the model. And third, encode your categorical fields. Look, a machine learning model doesn't inherently understand the word Windows versus Linux or a high versus low severity tag. You have to translate those text fields into a numeric format the model can actually read and process.
Okay, Section 4, engineering features from your data. Or, as I like to think of it, finding the signal in all that noise. Because here's the thing, raw data is almost never going to hand you the answer on a silver platter. You have to actively build the signals so your model can learn. For example, you might look at standard access logs and create a brand new derived feature, like a requests per second spike. Or, instead of just staring at raw CPU metrics, you compute rolling averages for CPU and memory usage. You can even pull the time of day or the day of the week right out of a timestamp to help the model learn daily traffic rhythms. Or you can combine fields to make ratios, like dividing errors by total requests to get a really clean error rate metric. This right here, this is exactly where your deep, hard-earned IT expertise becomes your superpower in the ML process.
And that brings us to our final part, Section 5, core algorithms for production, and choosing the right tool for the job.
Think of this as your production cheat sheet, mapping the exact math to your daily IT problems. Need to forecast disk usage over time or flag a binary outcome like a failed login? Linear and logistic regression are your absolute go-to tools. Doing some complex root cause analysis during an incident or trying to automatically classify alert severity, decision trees and random forests are incredibly powerful, and crucially, you can actually interpret how they arrived at their answer. But what if you're dealing with massive, complex, high-dimensional patterns? Things like log anomaly detection at a massive scale or image-based infrastructure monitoring. That is when you bring out the heavy artillery, neural networks.
But hold on just a second. Before you run off to build the most complex deep learning model imaginable, remember this rule. Always start simple. Seriously, a well-tuned decision tree will very often completely outperform a poorly configured neural network. Complexity is not a virtue in production. Try the simplest approach that solves your problem first. And with that, we've wrapped Chapter 10 and this entire 10-part explainer series from Virtualization Options LLC. We've tackled the paradigms, the crucial data prep work, feature engineering, and the core algorithms themselves. The shift to an AI-driven infrastructure is already here, and your existing technical background is absolutely your biggest asset. So I'm going to leave you with one final, provocative question to ponder. Knowing what you know now, how are you going to use these tools to automate, optimize, and completely revolutionize your own infrastructure workflows tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep building.